Hello, my name is Dale Wilhite. I live in Mountain Village, Colorado. If you want to find out anything about me, you can go to MySpace where I have a page there. I just wrote a really short article on about how a lot of entertainers and musicians, the wealthy ones that is, can help the people of Haiti, especially the homeless, which is in the hundreds of thousands now, who are homeless, if not millions. It's something that most entertainers, musicians, and entertainers did not do when it came to Hurricane Katrina. What they could do is be willing, if the Haitians are allowed inside the United States, to open up their second and third homes to provide lodging for a lot of these Haitians, homeless Haitians, on a temporary basis. Of course, there would have to be laws, rules, whatever, that they must return at a certain period of time, which is probably going to be about at least a year or so, and so forth. A lot of these entertainers and musicians, especially the liberals, they're the ones that run it off at the mouth and scream at the government when it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, particularly if it's a Republican White House. But yet they do very little themselves to help out. They'll send some money, and then they'll just, like it's a feel-good thing. They feel good. They'll send $1 million like Brad Pitt or Jolene, whatever her name is. I'm not a fan of hers. Although I admire some of the things that they do. But it's just more of a feel-good thing. Look at me, I'm feeling good. I'd send $1 million. But yet they don't make any real sacrifices. When it came to Hurricane Katrina, a lot of entertainers were screaming and yelling at Bush, and sometimes rightly so, for the way he handled it. But I don't know of any of them that opened up their second or third homes to any of the Katrina evacuees. Actually, the town of Telluride here sent me to Fort Worth, Texas, about a week or so after Katrina, to pick up hurricane evacuees that had been sent to Dallas and Fort Worth. Of course, some were sent to Houston and all over Texas to live in motels and hotels, for a long period of time. So the town of Telluride decided to send me down there. I took a bus, town bus. We call it the 122, which is now gone, of course. And went down there and picked them up and brought back about 26 or 27 hurricane evacuees. And most of them went to Grand Junction, Colorado. Some went to a place near Glenwood Springs. A few went here. Those that came here to Telluride pretty much left after a certain while. But the point of it is that in one of the places near Glenwood Springs, somebody, I don't know who it was, opened up a beautiful home that was 2 stories high. I think it had something like 5 bedrooms in it, 3 to 5 bedrooms in it. It was a beautiful home. And an entire family, every single person that I picked up was black. So here in Telluride, the skin color of somebody didn't make any difference to anybody here. And whoever opened up that home to that family near Glenwood Springs certainly didn't care about their skin color either. They saw people in need and they helped out. And these were not movie stars or anything like that. These were just basically, I guess you can say, somewhat wealthy people, because they let them let them move into that home for 3 years. So that would have been from 2005 to about 2008, maybe into 2009, rent-free. And I guess they had jobs waiting for them. But they helped out. But I don't know of any entertainers or musicians that opened up any of their homes and allowed their homes to be used. Not here in Telluride. We have a lot of entertainers got homes here. I think Oprah Winfrey had one here or may still have one here. I don't think she's doing that. And she certainly didn't do it during Hurricane Katrina. Tom Cruise has a home up here near the airport. As far as I know, he's not going to do that. And he certainly didn't do it during Hurricane Katrina that I know of. That certainly wasn't around here. So the point of it is that a lot of these entertainers and musicians that run off at the mouth about how bad Bush was and that the government needs to do something about it could themselves do more than just send a little money. They could open up their homes just to some of these hurricane evacuees, and some of their second, third, fourth, fifth homes might be in other countries. If they get them in those countries temporarily, they should do so. But that's just what always just bothered me about Hurricane Katrina, was how many of these entertainers were just blasting at Bush, bashing him as much as they could, yet they didn't open their doors to no one. It's just the same old thing. We'll send some money, we'll feel good, we don't really know where it goes, we don't know if it really got where it was supposed to go, and we feel good about it, and that's it. See, this is the warning that I'm going to give to you and to this nation, that in this nation here, one of the things that Obama should be doing, and Bush should have done this right after 2001, is they better start preparing for a natural disaster of this kind that's going to take place here in the United States one day, that's going to displace millions of Americans. That's why the government needs to buy up all closed down hotels, motels, uh, and keep them in working order, as expensive as it may be. They may have to rent some of them out just to bring in some money. But of course they could do that in a way that doesn't affect other hotels and motels or compete against them. Because one day we're going to have a natural disaster here, and if we are not prepared, we're not going to have any room for these people. If New York City is hit with a nuclear weapon one day, millions are going to be displaced. They're going to be spread out all over across America, and the government's going to be looking for places for them to live. And a lot of people are not going to open up their homes, but then again, there'll be a lot of people that will. And I guarantee you, most in Hollywood and the entertainment industry are not going to open up their homes. We get hit with a nuclear weapon, they're probably all going to be on a plane to France, especially Michael Moore and Martin Sheen. They need to prepare for that because we're going to get hit one day. We're going to have a major natural disaster, and we're going to have Americans that are going to need lodging all across America. And there ain't enough motels and hotels in America to handle it. That's why our government needs to get work on letting these motels and hotels, some of these that are shutting down, be demolished. We need room. We need space. You can't throw them in a football stadium or a arena or something and live there for months at a time. We're not prepared for that. And this right here is a warning sign of what's coming for us. But anyway, I would simply say that if you know any entertainers, any musicians, you're fans of them, write them if they're wealthy enough, and most of them are, who have second and third homes, and ask them to let their homes be used for some of the Haitians' homelessness. It's as simple as that. If they're not going to do that, they need to shut up about how bad America is, because that's what most of them do anyway. We're not as bad. We're the most giving right now. China is going to send $5 million. Venezuela is going to send one plane. Saudi Arabia is going to send a few little things, and that's pretty much it. We're still the ones that are going to spend most of the money. You have to remember that most of the Haitians speak French, so obviously that must have been a French colony at one time. I would assume France would be sending troops down there and be taking the lead in aid recovery. I haven't heard a word from France. Don't figure, does it? Anyway, thank you for your time, and please write, and any entertainer that you have access to on MySpace or something, and ask them, will they open up their homes to some of these Haitian homeless citizens, at least temporarily. If not, don't say a word. Don't be talking about how bad America is or how bad we're handling things. America, if they say they want the government to help out, well, keep this in mind. We are the government. They are the government. Why don't they sit, instead of waiting for the government in Washington to do something, why don't they do something else? At least I went down there at least to Fort Worth to bring these hurricane evacuees back from the Katrina floods and the hurricane. What are they doing? Don't figure, does it? Thank you for your time.